Hey, what's going on, everyone? I hope everyone's doing well. Welcome back to the Brian Johnson Show. Today we got my man Bill The Billionaire. He's going to be coming on the show today, and I just want to give a big shout out to everybody. I want to say thank you for everyone who's tuned in so far. And Bill's a very interesting guy. He's a comedian, and he's just one of those people that you meet, and he's just naturally funny, man. I've never met anybody who really didn't think the guy was not funny. So, anyway, with that being said, we're going to get to the show, man. Thank you for tuning in again, and let's begin. Peace. Yo, what's good, everybody? Hope everyone is good. Welcome back. Today is episode 5, and I got my man Bill. Okay, let me tell you about my little boy Bill real quick, okay? He puts I guess you could say, he's the funny dude, all right? But not in a funny way like he's just comical and just makes a bunch of jokes. Nah, Bill is one of those people that when you legit talk to the dude, it's like he's funny, man. He just tells you the truth. Like he's an honest person, and I'm blessed and highly favored to call him a friend because he's been a good dude. He's never really been like one of those guys you can honestly say who is a liar. He doesn't like flip out. If he has an honest issue with you, you can always go up and talk to him. And you got to appreciate that. So not only is he funny as hell, and he's one of the funniest people I know, he is an honest person. And these days that's rare. And truthfully, he's a good dude, man. So, Bill.
I'm allowed to talk now?
Oh, you want to talk now?
Okay. I was like,
said,
you was talk. I ain't never really heard you talk this highly about, to me. I guess it's because we recording this.
He loves the leapfrog shit, so here we go.
No, I'm just going to be honest.
Bill, tell them about yourselves, please.
Well, look.
Bill the Billionaire, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. I think, I like the claps and everything that's going on right now.
Weird.
I need claps. Please stand. Everybody, please stand.
It's fucking weird.
Now, what's going on? It's your boy Bill the Billionaire, comedian, actor, father.
Yes.
And, good friend, and that's just, what I'm doing. I'm out here on my grind right now. Right. That's basically what I'm doing. I'm grinding, doing this comedy thing, working on a couple projects and stuff going on right now. I mean, I also got my podcast, going on. Shout out to the Dad's Intervention podcast going strong right now.
Yes.
And, I'm just, here supporting my man, the Brian Johnson Show.
Yeah.
We're here. So I'm going to kick back and, we just going to have a good time tonight.
Episode 5, everybody. Yeah, Thank you, everybody.
Congrats on the show, though. Congrats on the show.
I appreciate that.
Last few shows have been rocking.
Appreciate that.
And I was just wondering when I was going to get invited. I felt some type of way. I should have been on the first one, but it's all good. I'm here now.
Bill, I'm sorry, bro. You got to save the best for last. And
this ain't the last show, so you're lying to me. That's I'm just going to be the last show before the one before this, after this one. See, Brian just be lying to my face sometimes.
I apologize now if we have brief moments where we're both just chuckling about shit, because this is Bill's thing.
This is going to be the last show. So basically, he's telling y'all he's 5 and out. That's
5 and out. I gotta be
come
done.
back for season 2.
Listen. Season 2's coming.
There you go.
Listen. Okay. So Bill, let me get something straight. Okay, Bill. Now I know you. You're a Jersey dude.
Yeah.
All right. Where you originate from exactly?
Jamaica, Queens.
Jamaica, Queens,
and then moved out to the Bronx. Was in the boogie.
Yes.
By Yankee Stadium. Shout out to Concourse Village. That's where my grandparents, my dad, and everyone was over there. That's when I went to Cardinal Hayes.
Nice.
My freshman year in high school. Went out to Cardinal Hayes. Got me a city basketball championship. Just got to put that out there. Ball used to be life. You know what I'm saying?
Ball is like, we're gonna get into that.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that.
We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that.
So
you came from Queens, Jamaica, Queens, and your dad moved over here to Jersey. Am I right?
Yeah. My mom and dad brought us out to Teaneck, New Jersey. Shout out to Teaneck. We had to get away from the crack house that was across the street from us in Queens. We had a house, but it was just like, I didn't know it was a crack house until like now. Until I got older. I just didn't understand why they had nothing but pit bulls always outside. It was always like a lot of gang stuff going on, but I just thought they was the cool guys. They ain't do nothing to me.
You see like a really ashy person, and
there's a couple like, you know what I'm saying?
Ashy Larry's walking around.
Let me get and get your power wheels. I'll bring it right back.
One of them jokes.
A lot of strange questions.
Yeah,
like,
it's a lot of, as a kid, you don't know what's going on. You're like, yo, I like Tyrone across the street. He cool. My mom like, get inside.
Now, your dad, when he came out here, your mom and your dad moved out here and everything, and you moved into Teaneck.
Yeah.
I asked a bunch of people like this who move in from Jersey. It seems to be a trend with my podcast at this point. When they move from New York to Jersey and everything, How was that change when you got over here?
I mean, the change was different.
How old were you when you moved, though? I didn't even ask
I came out here when I was in second grade.
Okay,
It was young.
Yeah.
But the only thing, it was different. Like I didn't have white people in my school. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was just like black Spanish, and you have the one white guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But honestly, living in Teaneck, you have everything.
Yes, you do.
I remember in second grade, I had white friends, Jewish friends. I didn't know nothing about no.
You're in the
Jews.
melting pot for real.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know about Jews. I didn't know nothing about that. They had this thing on their head. I'm like, why he wear a hat every day to school? You know what I'm saying? But it was the Yami. You know what I'm saying?
Mother looking at you like,
yeah, you know, it's crazy. But then it was just like, so you had every culture. It was just all there. And I think that was just great to get ahead and grow up with, you know, so many different ethnicities, you know, and it was just great. And then, you know, like I said, I came here young, but then, like I said, I was here pretty much all the way to 8th grade. Then I went back, you know, to play ball in the city and stuff like that. But during that time, I was still like back and forth, you know, playing ball in the city, and then, you know, just coming back.
That dichotomy of going back and forth and not really losing your complete touch with where you came from in the city and everything. How was that like? Did you find yourself like always in like a situation where you were always like, okay, 1 minute I'm here, 1 minute I there? Was a lot of pressure to be a certain way? Because, you know, when you're young and impressionable, you want to fit in. You don't want to stand out.
It was, you know, to me, I think one of the biggest things it used to kill me, like, I was appreciative that my parents had moved to Jersey. I'm going to be honest. You know what I mean? I mean, even when I got to high school and I started seeing certain things, like, my freshman year, how, like, you know, it comes to like the Bloods and the Crips and all this kind of stuff. You know,
that was brand new when you were going. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So now you got Bloods and Crips, and I went to Cardinal Hayes. This is an all boy Catholic school,
right?
But I was really in there with some straight hood Bloods, and I'm like, y'all is gangbanging in this school. Like, they had the notebooks and everything with the codes. They was all having these meetings, and I'm like, yo, is this serious? But it was crazy because when I would come back to Jersey, all the Jersey dudes that was Bloods, they ain't had the notebooks.
Nah,
you
man.
know what I'm saying? They didn't have us. So
it felt like they probably didn't even get jumped in. They probably just put on the flag and walked outside.
And that's when it was crazy, because I remember all these dudes used to be on my team. I'm not gonna put you out there, but they used to be blooded in Jersey. But when we had a game in New York, them flags was tucked.
Yeah,
and I'm like, yo, what's going on?
Posers,
you know what I mean?
baby.
So my
Posers.
thing was, look, I'm just gonna be me. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing. Like, even, you know, out here, you know, when I was out here coming up, it was like, yo, I could, you know, at the time, you know, used to be crazy back then. So if you was from Teaneck, you know, you had beef with Inglewood, Hackensack. You
grew up with that beef. That was like inherent.
But the crazy thing with me is I never had that beef out here. Like, I was in Teaneck, I went to Inglewood, I went to Hackensack, had no problems. But when I bring my whole basketball team, we go ahead and go into Inglewood, they like, nah, we not going. And I'm like, yo, we good over here. But they really wasn't good. You know what I'm saying?
No.
And like, I was chilling about Inglewood, so it was just crazy. I never had that problem. But that beef was there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it was crazy.
It makes up for an interesting dynamic because that beef is legit. Like,
still to this day. Still to this day.
I always say, people don't necessarily get it, but it's literally there's lines growing up and you grow up with that you just don't cross because you're not from that area. Yeah. It's kind of like, it's not gang stuff like you would see in LA or something like that. Like, you're not going to go on this side of Crenshaw if you're a Crip and it's all Bloods over here. But back in the day, it was kind of a fine line. Like, you just knew you didn't necessarily.
And you want to know, keep it 100.
What?
I think everybody was just mad at Teaneck because we was just I think Inglewood and Hackensack really had it out for Teaneck. It was just like, I'm sorry, Teaneck's the best county. I mean, this town in Bergen County. You know what I'm saying? But we just had it. Y'all wanted our girls.
The girls.
They wanted the girls.
That's right.
And then I'm gonna be honest, during my era, and even yours, like Teaneck was washing y'all in basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Every year.
The only thing y'all had was football.
You
know, in Hackensack, I think y'all had football.
Right.
Inglewood, y'all was just that team that, you know, came around and, you know, y'all was just the other. But I mean, we was doing this since we was in second grade, winning like the state tournaments and the nationals going away. So it was like we had that, right? So they was really. I remember we came to Inglewood one time. I'm not gonna put y'all out there. We was at the top of Tryon and we was all on our bikes. You know, everybody used to have the bikes.
Right.
And I'm getting the top of Tryon. I'm ready to ride down to Inglewood. They're like, yo, hold up. Now at the time we had these drawstring bags.
Yeah, that was a
had
shit.
The state championships in blue, real big blue bags, state championships, all this kind of stuff. These
This
dudes
is
like
basketball
stop.
flagging for all those who don't understand.
This is a basketball bag. So now I'm like, okay, let's go. They was
Right.
like, nah, hold up. They got off their bikes, turned the bags inside out, and was like, all right, let's go. I'm like, yo, y'all crazy, yo, y'all really?
I never heard nothing like
we was
this
going
in
to
my
play
life.
ball, but like, yo, dudes hated us like with that
Yeah,
joint. But I'm like, I ain't
yeah.
flipping my bag. But yeah, it was good times. You got me ahead and really reminiscing going back
Yo.
right now.
See, and that was probably because they've all heard stories of the hood beef. People
yeah.
getting jumped in certain areas.
Yeah,
You're gonna
yeah.
catch the fire, and that was a normal thing.
House parties, you go to certain house parties.
I've been to parties in Teaneck, and it was a house party. All of a sudden, you would see people from Inglewood show up, and they would surround the house, and there was no getting out. Like,
Oh no, they flooding
flooding the house. Like, it's over.
Inglewood,
buddy.
that's one thing. They gonna fight, and
Yeah.
it was deep.
Yeah,
It was deep.
it was never. You never
You
gonna
didn't
get
even
a
have to
one-on-one.
know who it was. You just see a whole bunch of people be on the Ave like, yo, I'm about to go to Teaneck and fight. They was like, all right, I'm coming. I'm like, yo, you don't even know what we fighting for.
We're just gonna be there.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna
I
happen.
remember I got a call. I was in the city at Cardinal Hayes, and my mans and them was like, yo, where you at? And I'm like, I'm in the Bronx right now. And he was like, yo, Teaneck Road is flooded right now. They walked from Inglewood to White Mara and walked to Teaneck and started fighting these dudes. And then half the dudes was my peoples, and then the peoples from Inglewood was my people. And I'm like, oh, man, y'all got me in the middle of situations.
I don't know nothing. I'm gonna be over here. I'm
So
sorry.
it got ugly. It got ugly.
That was a bit of big experience. That kind of dynamic.
Yeah,
And
that's
then okay, so we get it straight. So you get in Cardinal Hayes, right? You go through. Now at this point, you're developing your basketball notoriety and
Yes.
you're doing your skills. Now, when you were playing ball, when did you start really catching on to the fact that, you know what, some of these I can really start to do something with this? Like, when did you start feeling like, I know you probably crossed somebody up and you were like, damn.
Nah, I mean, honestly, like I said, I was really, it got serious like second grade, because
Okay.
our second grade, that's where we went to. We ended up winning the states
All right.
out here, and then we went to New Orleans.
Okay.
For my first basketball trip.
Is this
So
AAU?
Yeah, no, it was IYB then.
Wow.
But International Youth Basketball, if y'all don't know, we went out there. So we went out there, and as kids, we went out there on vacation. I remember we had all our homework. Yo, we lost every game out there. Okay, we lost every game, but we won the
God.
states. You know what I'm saying? But it was like, yo, if we get ahead and really work at this, we can go away every year and miss school. You know what I'm saying? But have to bring homework. So that's how we was doing. So we was get ahead and playing. This is real talk. And then it was until I think it was like 7th or 8th grade.
Okay.
No, well, 7th grade, the 6th, 7th grade, that's when we started winning when we was in nationally.
Right.
And it was our 8th grade year, our last year to get ahead and play.
Yeah.
We were number 2 in the nation. And we lost. And it was like, and at that time we was doing AAU too. We was traveling for AAU. So we've been traveling for that time.
Yeah.
But after that, it was like, I remember 8th grade, it like killed us, because coming up, we was winning all these state championships. They wanted all of us to go to Teaneck High School. But at the time, like, I went to Cardinal Hayes. My boy Shell Keating, he went to Seton Hall Prep.
Right.
Willie went to Teaneck. Ariel went to St. Joe's. We all broke up and went to different places. So
Right.
they even made an article about us. Like, if they all went to Teaneck High School, we would have had that team that went to the TOC. And we've been playing with each other since we was babies. You know what I
If
mean?
y'all had stayed together,
We would stay together. It would have been ridiculous. So
Game over.
It was really when, like, I went to Cardinal Hayes and I'm like, Dad, I'm going out here to play on this next level, and I won my first city championship.
Okay.
After that, my dad was like working with me. My dad, had me in the gym. It got to the point in the summers, I'm in the gym 5 o'clock in the morning,
Right.
putting shots up, going home, going to sleep. When my dad got to go to work, I'm waking up, I'm at the park. Like, ball was really life. Like, I remember my ex was like, "Oh, you rather go play ball than go to the party?" Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. Like, I was serious about it,
Right,
And then at the same time, I was like, one, I want to go to college. You know what I'm saying? My dad went to St. John's, played for St. John's. So it's like, I wanted to fill those shoes. You know what I'm saying? As far as playing ball. So I worked at it, did those things, and it was like, yo, if I want to get ahead and take it to this next level, this is what I want to do. And everybody was like, that's when it was like, yo, D1, D2, D3. And when I went to one of the college showcases, and you got all them D1 coaches there,
That's a whole nother level right
that's when
there,
I'm like, oh, we
B.
got to get ahead and rock. So, and I had a good joint, started getting letters. And when you start getting them letters, like, I went to Paramus Catholic. I remember going down to the office, getting the letters, and then you getting letters from schools that you're not going to. Like I remember, I got a 2 times Georgetown hit me up.
Ooh.
Georgetown sent me this big.
Now this is when the AI. Now this is like during like AI.
This is after AI.
Right after AI. Okay.
So I had a Georgetown book. They had signed something, putting my name in it. But to come down to it, I was really going to get ahead and go to Florida International.
Okay.
Florida International was heavy on me. That's when Raja Bell was there.
Okay.
And he was there, and they kept saying, Raja Bell, you could have, been this and that. I mean, it is crazy how these colleges like milk you and tell you.
We're gonna get into that, V.
Yeah,
we're gonna get into that. Because we gotta talk
crazy.
about that now. When you're okay, so you remember you just mentioned you went to PC, Paramus Catholic for all those.
Paramus Catholic.
Yep. So you went out to Paramus.
Yes.
Now Paramus is. I'm gonna come out here and say something that was probably highly ignorant, being the fact that I grew up in Teaneck and everything. I should know this. I didn't even know Paramus had another high school besides Paramus Catholic.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know. My girlfriend went to Paramus.
Oh really?
Yeah, she went to Paramus.
Wow.
She graduated Paramus. She grew up. She'd been in Paramus. She was in Paramus. She came from the Heights.
She came from money though. She got to
Paramus. Basically,
yeah.
she went into Paramus and she was like, "This is not even right." She started going to Teaneck right away. Like she was like, she started catching the bus when she grew up. She grew up in Paramus, but when she was old enough, she discovered what Teaneck was, and she was like, "Oh, there's people who look like me."
Okay.
Yeah. So when you
ain't gonna find that in Paramus.
No, Paramus Catholic is right next to Bergen.
You're right across the street.
Right across the street. Yeah. How was that your freshman year? Now you're highly touted. You're coming into that.
Well, I didn't go there. I transferred into Paramus Catholic my sophomore year. My second half of sophomore year, so I had to sit out for that first year.
How was that for you being a baller?
Hated sitting out, but the only thing is it was cool because I can get ahead and play AAU.
Yes.
So I played AAU and did all that kind of stuff. But just to sit on the bench at PC, like, I want to get ahead and get in the game and play.
How was the dynamics in school at PC for you?
I mean, and the structure was different.
Right.
Like I just came from an all-boys school. We had to be dressed up. You like detention. You was standing up, holding your books. you know how when the bell rings, y'all still hanging in the hallway. There was none of that at Cardinal Hayes. So I came to PC with that Hayes mentality.
Yeah.
My tie all the way up, shirt tucked in, everything. I'm rushing to class. Dudes that's on the team is like, "Yo, why you rushing?" I'm like, "Nah, we gotta get to class." You know what I'm saying? It was like, "Yo, you bugging."
You were straight institutionalized. What is it?
Yes. I was strict on it.
Yeah.
And then now they had the females, and now the chicks knew because at the time
this is the moment when Bill was like, "Wait a minute, there's women?"
My coach got 5 of us from all New York City schools to come to Paramus Catholic,
and they were all going to boys' schools.
We was all going to boys' schools. So I was the last
Animal
one.
House right there.
I was the last one to get to PC from the school. So I'm seeing all these dudes. I know these dudes are playing them in the city.
Right.
And they showing me around. And these chicks, it reminded me of Blue Chips. Because like these chicks see you, it's like, hey, so you got the white girls that's in the chill. Hey, it's crazy. So I'm sitting there like from an all boys school. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great. All these Beckys out here. It was just, I was like, oh, this is the life.
How was that dynamic? Did you date any women? Did you date any white women there?
And you know what's crazy? I didn't.
What? I'm so surprised by that.
But listen to this. My first girlfriend was she was black and Puerto Rican.
Okay.
And she was on the cheering team.
Okay.
And this is when I found out that cheering thing was real serious. She was nothing nowhere near like black. Like she was like the white girl. You know what I'm saying? But she was all into it, and I was like, okay, I got me a little. She want to be black, but she kind of. But she was cool. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I was cool with everybody. You know what I'm saying? It was cool. It really wasn't never changed. Like I said, it put me back into the middle school days. Back in Teaneck, you know what I'm saying? Like campus, so it wasn't like a culture shock. Some of these other dudes, like, they ain't never seen a white girl in their life. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you look at PC, it's like, yo, they just let everybody in there now. You know what I'm saying? So
it's a whole other thing there.
And that's what I told people. Like, PC changed from like a Catholic school to like a public school. You just got to get dressed up. Like, that's how I told people. It was just like a Catholic school. I mean, it's a great school. Great school. You know what I'm saying? But I had a great time at PC.
When did you so you're in high school at this point.
Yeah.
Just to give everybody context. During your time in high school, that's a time when a guy begins to understand himself a little bit, to smell himself a little bit, as we like to say.
Talk about
it. And then on top of that, we begin to construct our heroes, as my mom likes to say. You construct your heroes. The heroes is whatever television puts in front of you, and whatever you think you can relate to.
Yeah.
As a black man, at that time, this had to be circa 01, I would say.
Yeah, because I graduated in 03. So yeah, around like
around
01.
01.
Yeah.
Jordan's era was just passing at this point.
Yeah.
And there was talk of LeBron at that point, but not to that serious tip. There was, I'm sure, around your annals, you probably heard about LeBron.
Yeah, of course,
right. And those guys are your peers. LeBron is your peer, so you're not even thinking about him. I remember growing up, for me, Tim Thomas was like a god because Tim Thomas was the dude.
Yeah.
When you were at that stage, when you were just coming into your basketball own, who was the top dude in the college ranks that you might have looked up to? But who was a dude in the NBA that you were just like, yo, this guy is my guy?
Well, that's easy. Like you know, coming up, I'm a Team Jordan all day. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Chicago Bulls and all that.
Right.
But after, like, it kind of like when Jordan left the game,
Jordan's era was pretty much done by the time you were like a sophomore.
it was done, and it hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like Jordan. You know what I mean? And I was like, how can I leave? And I wasn't about Kobe. I was like, he's just a wannabe Jordan. At one point,
my man Pinnacle gonna hate. Then you hear that?
Oh yeah. Penn, you already know, kid. But in the beginning, I liked Penny Hardaway. You know what I'm saying?
That was my man too.
Penny was
that
dope. That was the one I can get ahead and train. Penny.
Right.
I thought Penny. If he didn't get hurt, the way so I think Penny was definitely gonna be dope. But honestly, I say it still to this day. And this is my man. I actually got to meet him and chill with him before, chop it up, plenty of times.
Right.
My man, Stephon Marbury. Man.
Oh, wow.
Starberry. That was my man.
One. I thought you were going to say AI, but okay.
Starberry's my man.
Right.
And I mean, it goes back to like even when I went to his camp. Went to his camp. I'll even send you the pictures. You can show the people.
Okay.
With me and Steph.
Nice.
I got my and one joint. That's when the and one joints was out. Steph had to pose.
God,
but,
those are my man. I used to love my and one.
Yo, but
man.
Steph. I really, cause Steph he's a point guard, and I was playing point,
right?
And I was just a stronger, like for my build, I was a stronger, like a bigger point guard than some of the point guards that was there.
Right.
So I used to watch Steph, and Steph wasn't as big as everybody, but he was just strong.
Right.
The way he went to the basket and the moves that he made, the way he just cup the ball and do those things.
He did his thing at Georgia Tech. I used to remember that when he was younger, boy. He used to destroy.
You know what I'm saying? So now I started watching Steph, and that's all I want to do. I'm watching Steph, and I'm doing stuff, going to the basket, covering the ball, like trying to muscle everybody doing it.
He doing Euro steps before Euro steps.
Yeah, for real. You know what I'm saying? Like Steph was my man, and that's the only reason at PC. That's the really reason I wore number 33.
Right.
Because when Steph went to Jersey, when he went to the Nets, he wore number 33, and my number has always been 11.
Right.
11 and 33. And I've always been my number. Number 11 is from my father.
Right.
When he played ball, and he got that from Bob McAdoo.
Right.
And 33 was Stephon Marbury. Even when I was at Hayes, I got 33 when I was over there. So it's crazy. When I came here, I was like, all right, give me 33. 11 was already taken. But that's why I wore 33. In high school for Stephon Marbury.
At that point, did you start to develop your personality and this outgoingness that you've been critiquing for years now?
I've always had the personality. I've always been that like.
Well, from what I always heard, that was what
my thing is always like, all right, Bill's here now. So it's time to turn the light on. I'm gonna get ahead and bug. I just love, like, honestly, my thing is I just love to have fun. You know what I mean? I feed off that good energy. You know what I'm saying? I'm real one on. I go off of energy, and I go off people's energy, and I love to see people happy. You know what I mean? I love to get ahead and see people laugh, and that just makes me feel good. And then sometimes, at times, I'll be honest, I think that's where it's like you can be going through so much pain and certain things, but the laughter get ahead and blocks it out and takes you somewhere else. Right. So I think that's sometimes, going through certain things that, that came.
When you were so you're developing this personality, because obviously you're in school, you're around your teammates and everything. In the locker room, were you always like a cut up, or you were just kind of cool?
I mean, when it came to ball, I wouldn't like. I was real serious. I'm real. It's business time.
I've caught you a few times zone in, and I've seen you lock in.
Yeah, when you gotta lock in, you gotta lock in. But everybody knows. Other than that, we can be on the bus. Like after the games, we chilling. Before at practice, we might be joking around doing whatever. Yeah. I'm the one bugging out in the locker room, making jokes, doing all those. Just having fun.
So it came kind of natural to you at that point.
Yeah, because it honestly. Comedy, being a stand-up comedian, was never
a thought
in the plan.
I mean, of course, was there anybody that you ever watched comedy-wise that you were just like, damn?
Look, I'm gonna be 100% honest. The only person that I really watched
was Martin.
No, not even that. It was Eddie Murphy. I seen Eddie Murphy's joints or whatever, and then was Cat Williams probably around that high school time.
Yeah.
Then Cat Williams coming in. But honestly, it was crazy because we'll probably get into this later. But I didn't really. I looked at Will Smith. Will Smith is still and will always be my favorite actor of all time.
Right.
And I just love Will.
I agree with that.
And I felt like I feel like Will was also funny.
Mm-hmm.
So when watching him. I always like to entertain, like coming out with my cousins on Sunday. We have Sunday dinner.
Yeah.
I always wanted to put on a show.
So Bad Boys 2 must have been, Bad Boys 1 or 2 must have been like,
both of them, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, but when coming with that, that's what it really was. Because, I started acting first.
Right.
So that was my thing. I want to get ahead and be like Will Smith. I want to make people laugh, but I want to act. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened. And it just happened to get ahead and be so funny until I saw... Jamie Foxx. And Jamie Foxx, when he had his special, I loved his special.
Right.
And at the same time, Jamie had them dying laughing and, to Africa, that joint. But then at the same time, Jamie had him crying in the movie. So he's not getting typecast and he's able to do these things. I'm talking about and going back to In Living Color.
When I saw Jamie on Any Given Sunday, he blew my mind because that was like his first real serious role.
Yeah.
And he nailed that
Yeah,
shit.
and that's the thing. And I think it's hard for, not that it's hard for comedians, but I think some comedians tend to get themselves locked up in that typecast that they can just be funny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mike Epps. Like Mike Epps, in the beginning, that was Mike Epps. Mike Epps had that typecast. He's just going to be
goofy gangster?
the goofy dude and just going to be bugging out and everything. Until he did, what was the joint with Whitney Houston?
Oh, I know.
Sparkle.
Yeah.
When he did Sparkle, that movie right there, I had so much more respect for Mike Epps. I said, you know something? He really took this even, and he played a comedian. That's the crazy. He played a comedian,
but he played the dark side of the comedian.
And he played that role, and that's when I really gave him the respect to say, you know something? You really took this craft seriously because it's a craft, just like comedy is a craft.
Right.
And it's a craft. So
it's like a craft. You studied that craft.
Yeah, you had
like
to.
You studied ball.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And in the beginning, when I was acting, I was taking classes. I had an agent that was doing stuff with and really going over monologues and doing these things. And I remember I had a class at Dell State when I was at Dell State, and I had an acting class. And did this monologue, got 100 on it. Right. Met with my manager for we did one-on-one training.
Right.
So, and she was like, I told her I did 100. She's like, oh, really? Let me see the monologue. Did the monologue, same way I did it in class, right? My manager was like, you should have failed. Yo, when I mean pop my bubble, but then
dream bubble poppers are good.
Yeah, they're good.
They're good
because at that moment right there when she explained to me why it was horrible.
Yeah.
And the next time I did and right after we had the talk and she started asking me questions about the character, and this is all this kind of stuff. Then she said, "Okay, now do the monologue." And when I did the monologue, I broke down crying. And I was like, I never felt like when you was acting, I was Billy just acting.
Yeah,
you
were Billy the comedian.
Exactly, entertaining. But now when I did that monologue that time, I was actually whatever the character's name was, and I was in that moment. So that's the thing that was crazy because I've never felt like that. I felt like I really got out of my body and became that character, and that's when I said, "Yo, this acting thing is real. Like it's a craft.
100%.
Yeah,
now, I would go. You going through high school, and we spoke about that, and to bring back home, you were going through high school, and you get to about your senior year. Now, that's when you got to start making decisions about school.
Yeah.
Now, what was on your mind senior year for you? Because you're playing ball, you're being recruited.
Yeah.
All right? Your timing is here. You're like, all right, I'm dating, I'm living my life, my dad and my mom are behind me 100%.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm about to go to school. Tell me about that time because that was a crucial time in your life because things begin to change for you at that point.
I mean, at that time, it was kind of like, okay, took your SATs. SATs is all right, you know what I'm saying? You made it, so it was like, all right, I want to get the scholarship. You got prom.
Right.
Thinking about prom, you want to do those things. And this was my last chance to really put on a show for any college recruits and stuff that was coming out. You know what I mean? And at the time, that was the only thing that was on my mind. And during that season, I ended up my senior season, I tore my meniscus.
Right.
But it was towards the end of the season, before we was about to get ahead and play in the Jamboree. Everybody, if you don't know the Jamboree, that's like the big county tournament out here. So, and the year before, we made it to the Final Four. So I'm like, yo, I want to get ahead and go back this year. A lot of people had left, so it was kind of like all on me. And we got some new dudes and stuff.
You were
like
center
that.
stage at this time.
Yeah. So I got up there, tore my meniscus, but I'm still playing. I wasn't practicing, but I was still playing with basically like one leg. I was out there still doing it. Holding it down.
So you pulling your Isaiah Thomas.
Yo, holding
Straight
it down.
and not the new Isaiah Thomas. We're talking the original
we took the real
Isaiah.
Yes. So I'm doing all that, and I remember we won the game to go into the final. Was the final 6? To go into the final 6 right before the jamboree.
Wow.
Right before the jamboree. This was around Valentine's Day. Well, it was on Valentine's Day. I got sick, and got sick. Thought I, had the flu. Went to the doctor. Doctor was like, "Yo, you got the flu. Go back home. You'll be all right." So I'm like, "Okay, cool." End up that night. Then that day, I'm at night, and then my feet are just like frozen cold, and I put my feet on like the warmers, the electric joints or whatever. So I put my feet on the electric joint. I'm just sitting there with my feet on it, and I'm like, "Yo, is this joint not plugged in?" I touch it with my hand, and I almost burned myself. It was so hot that my feet weren't even feeling it. So I'm like, "All right, something's not right."
Yeah.
End up going to the hospital. Now, at the time, like I said, I had like Maris and Florida International. Those are the last two that I was kind of really like looking into.
I'm about to be out of here, about to go to these schools.
I'm going to pick a school and do this and that. So I did that and go to the hospital. Next thing you know, I'm in the hospital for 3 months. I end up being diagnosed.
You were 17?
Yeah.
That's a hell of a shock.
Bacterial meningitis. Basically, anybody that came to see me had to put on the little space suits and all that kind of stuff.
I don't know what I would do. I'm 17 years old. I got my whole life ahead of me, and I'm in this quarantine.
Yeah, and it's crazy to the point where I told the nurse, because I knew basketball was on my head. On my head, I told the nurse, and I was nowhere in the shape or form to go ahead and do anything.
Right.
I told the nurse to come in. I said, "Can you come here for a second?" She was like, "What?" I said, "Look, let me out. I'm gonna go play and I'll come back. I promise I'll come back." My brain was messing with me to the point where I was pulling the IVs out my arm. They had to like restrain me and everything in there. I started bugging out. Like I was possessed. Like I was pretty much knocked out. Don't remember anything. One of my boys,
because that's just part of your bodily function.
I've worked so hard for this moment.
Right.
And now it's like being taken away. So now, even going through all this, I've been in the bed for so long. I had to learn how to walk again. All this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like when I actually get home and do all this kind of stuff, I have to learn how to walk again. I was lost hearing in one of my
Did you have fears that this might be over for you at that point?
And the crazy thing is, I never had that fear. That never came across while I was there. And that's honestly, guys, never came across. Okay. But the doctors told my mom, my dad, that we don't know if he's going to make it. You know what I'm saying? And they told my parents that. So, I think my parents are coming in trying to be strong for me, but it's killing them. You know what I'm saying? My dad was actually the assistant coach of my high school.
Right.
He had to go. We played Inglewood in the final 6, and we had lost. And we should have beat them. If I was there, like I was the captain of the team. There's no disrespect to them, but the way we had the team, we could have beat them.
Right.
And if I was there, I could keep everybody together, because some people, they couldn't play with each other unless I kept them.
I can only imagine the level of hurt you must have felt when you found that out.
But and not even just that, it was crazy because they came. My team came back to the hospital.
Yeah.
And they brought the tape of the game, and we played it in there. And as it's playing there, I'm laying in the bed and I'm like crying, like just sitting there crying. And then I just turned over, like I couldn't even watch it no more. And then everybody's talking. I wouldn't talk because now I'm like, I can't say anything. But now in my head, it still hasn't hit me that, these schools aren't going to take you anymore. You know what I'm saying? It still hasn't hit me with that. So now when I get ahead and get out of here, come to find out, I don't have those scholarships, nothing on the table now.
Goodness.
So now I'm learning how to walk again. And in my head, I'm like, I have this competitive thing in me. I'm going to get back to where I am.
Okay, FYI, people. Billy may come off as a funny dude, and he's very relaxed, and he seems very much confident in himself. Let me tell you something. Try out drinking Billy. Try out talking Billy. Try doing anything to outdo Billy. Billy will literally bite your thumb off to keep you from winning. I don't know how did you survive playing video games growing up? Did you scrap a lot because of that?
I'm taking my video game home with me. That's what I'm saying. You thought you won? I'm taking my ball with me too.
Billy was the kid who took his G.I. Joes home because he lost.
For real. I'm breaking your G.I. Joe's arms. What you mean you got a new arm? Nah, man.
Hey, you know what's funny? When I noticed that about you, I think we were. Oh man, I think it was around the time when I first met you. I think somebody was like killing it on stage.
Yeah.
And this had to be when we were still doing it at that pub.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah.
And we were doing it at a pub back in Teaneck, and this guy was murdering. He had the crowd like butt gussing.
Rocking.
Billy was looking like, yeah, this is good. Then all of a sudden, Billy got quiet. And all of a sudden, he just started staring at the dude. And I was like, what is wrong with you? I was like, I went over to his wife, and I was like, what's wrong wrong with this nigga? Shout out to Jackie. And I'm just like, yo, what's wrong with you? I don't. He's just like, I don't know, Brian. She got back and went back and started collecting money for the door and everything else. Billy just went in there, was going ham, and me.
Yo.
I went back to the DJ booth, and Billy just looking. I mean, not me, but Billy. Me and Pinnacle just looking like, is he okay?
I don't know what it is. It's just like I just been trained. Like, and it's crazy because people always say when we was playing basketball, they used to get ahead and say like, yo, who's the best player in the gym?
Right.
And I'm like, me. And
Yo,
I don't care. LeBron could be in
face.
it. Like you have, like, and if you don't believe that, you don't need to get ahead and be like.
Yeah, you
and
have
it
to
wasn't
believe
that you just say it. You have to really believe. Like, I don't care who it is. Still to this day, I have a problem because I know I'm not where I used to be as far as playing back. Now I can still play ball, still should do whatever. But somebody talks crazy to me. Oh, I'm gonna bust your ass, knowing that I might not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yo, you can't. There's nothing in me that say like I don't care who it is. We gonna play.
Yeah,
I'm gonna rock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's anything I do. I just have that because if you don't go with that confidence, and it's just like I said, if you don't believe in yourself, why should those other people believe in you?
Word.
If I don't believe the joke is funny, why should those people think it's funny?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that just competitive thing in me. That's like I said, when I was sick, I was gonna get ahead and do anything I had to do to get back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That had to help you get to a level where you could get up out of that situation.
And it was hard. Like I remember one crazy story. I remember I was at my house, all my friends are there, and I was pretty much in the bed, and I sat up, and I'm talking to him, and all of a sudden, I was like, "Pass me some gold line," just like that, and I said, "Oh shoot!" So I laid back down, and I'm like, "Yo, what the heck was that?" And just with my regular voice, sat up again, and then they was whispering. I saw them like whispering, not trying to be funny. They was like worried. I just got in. They was like, "Yo, what's wrong with Bill?"
Sound you just had a stroke.
Yeah. So then they was like, "Yo, what's wrong with Bill?" And I'm sitting there like, "Y'all laughing at yo." So I laid back down. They went and got my mom. My mom's calling them or whatever, and they was like, "Yo, my brain wasn't used to sitting up for so long and all this kind of stuff." So that's everything come back together. I'm sitting here now like, oh man, I'm gonna have like Down syndrome. I'm gonna have to be retarded or something like that. So I'm messed up.
That's a rough thing,
Yo,
B.
bruh, I had an old lady. She had to be about 70-something years old as a physical therapist. Now, you see my size. I'm sitting there like, and I lost like over like 50, 60 pounds when I was in this. So I was skinny. And the lady was like, okay, we're going to do these leg exercises. She was holding my leg down. Now, B, I'm telling you right now, you could just flung this lady by plucking her.
Right.
She was holding my leg down. I'm like, this lady thinks she going to hold my leg down? B, when I tried to lift my leg, I was sitting there struggling like, That's how much muscle was lost and did everything.
That's like that Kill Bill moment when the lady stood up. You see that moment when she said, wiggle your toe? Wiggle your toe. I always say, yo, first thing first, in any accident, wiggle your toes.
Can you feel your feet? Yeah.
Yep.
Can you feel it?
Feet.
Yeah, and it's crazy, but I mean, like I said, I worked hard. I didn't get to ahead and go to D1 school. I ended up going to Keystone College and playing ball there for a year.
Keystone College. I did not know that. I thought you went straight to Del.
No, I went to Keystone College my freshman year because, like I said, I couldn't go there. We went and visited, and I was like, all right, I'm here. And got there. Coach was real excited about all the stuff he heard about me. You know, he didn't see me play since then. He knew I got sick, but I'm like, hey, I'm good. Been playing AAU, doing this and that. And went up there, did all right, but then that's when I had my knee surgery because I told you I tore my meniscus then. So I had my knee surgery. So that pushed me back. And then I just couldn't do the sticks no more. Then when I heard about Del State, I'm like, yo, it's a D1 school. I can go there and really rock out.
Right.
So, but at the time when I was at Keystone, I met somebody that got me into the acting.
Okay.
So I started doing
Keystone
Keystone opened the door for the acting. Yes.
So that's when, like, okay, so all right. So you go through what you went through, recovering from what you had, like, I guess contracted.
Yeah.
It's contractual, right? All right. So then you go to Keystone.
Yeah.
I'm going to play ball. But then you meet somebody and they get you in the acting. Was that the first time you thought about doing something other than ball?
No. Well, yeah. That wasn't the first. Like, I've always thought about this, but then it got to for me. It got to the point when I was at Keystone. I was pretty much six man.
Okay.
Had my knee surgery. Now I'm coming off the bench. I'm at the end of the bench now. So I'm not used to that. I've been starting all my life.
That's a big shot to the ego.
That it is, and it hurt. So I'm like, I'm done with this school. I can't do this no more. So now I'm not doing this no more. I'm talking to one of these dudes. He was doing some acting. I want to shout out to my man Tony Remy. You know, he hooked me up. So I started get ahead and he showed me how to get some headshots and all this kind of stuff. I actually got into a little. Got picked to go to this little competition out in Florida. Asked my mom for my birthday gift, can you pay for me to get ahead and do this? I really want to do it. You basically go see different agents, do all this kind of stuff. So it was cool. So I go out and did that, but then I told my parents, I said, you know, the one thing I wish I could never do is have a show like the Jamie Foxx show.
Wow.
You know, do something like that.
Yeah.
So in my head, I've always wanted to act, and I just never said anything because basketball was life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But now, when it gets to the point when you start looking at yourself and like, yo, I'm at a D3 school. Am I going to the NBA anymore? You know what I'm saying?
It don't look, the odds don't look that good, right?
You know what I'm saying? So now I got to start thinking about what I want to do because I personally, I don't want to get ahead of work for nobody else. You know what I mean? So now I'm like, yo, I really like acting, you know, and this is in college when you're trying to figure out what you want to major in and all that kind of stuff. So at the time, honestly, I only went to school for basketball.
Right.
If it wasn't for basketball, I couldn't do it. No,
Right,
it wasn't happening. So I went there and went to school and I said, all right, I don't know what I want to do. Sports management. I know sports. I can be an agent, this and that. It's going to be easy.
Sports is going down.
You know, so that's what I felt comfortable with.
Right.
You know, but then when I started to get ahead and opened up about doing the acting, I was like, okay, cool. So that's when I actually left and that summer went to this acting thing, and I'm like, okay, cool. Transfer to Del State.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play ball at Del State. I go to try out for the team, make the team, but they want me to get ahead and be a practice player and just redshirt.
Oh hell
So
no.
now I'm like this. Nope. I said, you know something, I'm done.
The
I'm
signs
done
have been met.
That was really it. And then that's when my grades started slipping, and I got to the point where I was like, you know, something, I can't do this no more. I'm done.
Right.
So I left Del State.
Okay.
I left college for a year and a half. But the thing that was great was that's when I started really going hard with that because I told my mom, like, yo, I didn't have a job. And so I'm like, yo, I'm going to get ahead and really go out, grind hard. I was working at some steel company. My mom and them got me a job at a steel company. And I got a call from this agency that I was working with to do a Verizon commercial.
Nice.
So I did a Verizon commercial. It was the Verizon commercial when they had the bogus network and they made the cardboard people and knocking people. So I was in that one. So I'm like, okay, got a little check from that. Then Spider-Man 2 came out.
I remember the Spider-Man thing.
So then I did the Spider-Man. So now when I did Spider-Man, I worked on Spider-Man for a week.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, I'm making money now. I ended up getting fired from my job. So I'm like, it's cool because I took off for a whole week to go do this job.
Right.
So after that, I did music and lyric with Drew Barrymore and did that one. I did end up doing American Gangster.
What year is this around? What year
This
is this?
has got to be 2005, 2006.
So right before the recession.
Yeah. So I'm over here going hard with the acting stuff. So I'm over here doing my thing for a year and a half. I'm grinding out with acting, and then it slows down. I'm not getting any extra works. I got 2 credits. I need 1 more to join the SAG. So I'm like, all right, what am I going to do?
Right.
Next thing you know, my mom was like, look, you either got to go get a job or you got to do something. So I said, you know something? I know my mom didn't want me to finish school.
Right.
I'm going to go back.
Time to get the fuck out.
And knock it out.
Yeah.
And now I'm 21, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
21 something, going back to school, and I'm like, I'm going to focus, and I'm here for a reason now. Or like, before it was basketball, now I really want to go and finish so I can focus. Because when I was there before, basketball wasn't there, I didn't care. You know what
college
I mean?
life will suck you in fast.
Oh, yeah,
and
definitely.
You're in the dorms, you're away from your family. You're going to see, and on top of that, either way, you're with the team.
Yeah.
And not for those who have never been to school, it's different when you go to college and you play athletics.
Yeah.
Your life in the dorms is different. Like you could be the 7th player on the bench.
Yeah.
And you got a groupie.
Yeah.
That's
Everybody get love. You know
everybody gets love.
But it's crazy. Like I went back and then I took it serious. You know what I mean? But then I got that's when I did I got the Jay-Z video.
Yeah.
Ended up doing the was that Lost Ones? The Lost Ones video, and then I did the Little Kim Put Your Lighters Up video.
Right.
So now I'm like, oh, I'm loving it. I got the bug. I just want to get ahead and do it. So I started doing like indie films. I was in the theater, like doing plays at Del State, doing a whole bunch of stuff. So now I was like, yo, this is just great. I'm loving it.
You're feeling yourself.
I'm feeling it. And that was just like, and this, I haven't felt this good about anything since basketball.
So it's filling that hole.
Yeah.
Because basketball, once you give up something that you love to death, there's a hole. I remember, not that there's any level to what you did with basketball, but I remember when I stopped doing Circle of Success. I stopped doing, like, I guess, blogging at the time. I could do anything creative. Yeah. I felt dead. I felt dead inside. And that was for like a year. I felt really dead inside. Like, I didn't know what was going on with me. I didn't know, like, how to operate. But this past year or so of just focusing on my creative side and what things that I want to do, I've never felt better.
Yeah.
And people might not really understand it because maybe some people have never really ever had anything they love like the creatively. But once you have something, and you get that something back, however small and minute it may seem to the outside world, it's your world. It gives you something more, man. So you were
It's your outlet, man.
Man.
It's crazy how that. I mean, that's like how I look at comedy. Now it's like I get on that stage, I'm just a whole nother person.
Do you baby your voice because of that? Like you go in and like you get tea and everything else like a singer?
Nah. Well, what I use because my thing is I'm loud. I'm always loud.
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
like- So it's like the night before a show, I got to make sure I can't be bugging out because I'll go if I'm out partying doing whatever. I'm the type to always lose my voice and be bugging out.
Bill will get twisted and have a good time.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a great time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's when I started really thinking about those things and started doing those things. I mean, but you really got to get ahead and take. Like I said, it's not as bad. But you got to know your voice. You know what I'm saying? And the drinking and stuff will get ahead and get you.
It'll catch up to you.
Your throat will start sounding crazy. I remember. I'm at a point now. I don't have to drink to do. I don't have to drink to do comedy anymore. You know what I mean? When you start, you think you need the comedy. You know what I'm saying? And then at the same, I'm doing clean comedy now. So it's like you need that clear mind. And I mean, it's great. It's been a great change.
So when you were so let me backtrack on the story so we don't lose these people.
Yep.
When you were acting, everything good. So now you're gonna go back to Del State. Am I correct?
Yep.
So you go back to Del State. That must have been like a whole other thing because when you're 20, let me break down people. When you're 18 to like 20 in college, it's a different ball game than when you're 21. Life gets serious, a little serious. Even people think 21, you screwing around a lot.
Almost like the old head.
You're the old head in college.
You buying liquor for that? Everybody that's it.
What? You in the dorm? Oh, we got you, brother. You're supposed to be an RA. You ain't even supposed to talk.
Exactly.
You're supposed to be an RA.
Yeah.
So when you were down there, now I know you met your wife while you were down there.
Yes.
Now, did you meet her previously, or did you met her at that point?
I actually met her through my cousin. My cousin ended up going to Del State too. That was under me and my cousin Joey. I get there and I came back to visit. And they were having a spring ball.
All right.
And I came back to visit just to the spring ball. Came to visit my cousin and got there. Jackie and my cousin used to chill all the time.
Okay.
Seen Jackie, and I'm like, and actually, my ex was at the school too.
Oh.
My ex went to Del State still.
That sucks.
So I get there, I'm still with my ex, and I'm in the room, and I see this chick, and I'm talking to Joe. I'm like, yo, who that? He was like, nah, chill. She got a man that's like my sister. I'm like, nah, I need that in my life, yo. And
at this point, he's letting you know that the wolf will always live. The wolf lives.
Yo, I was real. Like, this is something I was like, nah, man, I need that. Like, dead serious. These is my exact words.
Yeah.
So I met her, said what up to her. Okay, cool. And it was cool. Left it alone. I went to the ball, was with my girl, whatever. Right. And then I left, I was visiting. But then I came back the next year to actually go back to school and take school. Now, who's my roommate? My cousin Joey. So now me and Joey's cool.
This man's got it all hooked up at this point.
Oh yeah. So I didn't forget about her. I remembered her, but she wasn't on my mind. You know what I'm saying? When I came back, I just remembered the girl. Like, yo, she was bad, whatever.
Yeah.
So now when we come back, we have a party, and I see her.
Oh.
And now me and my crew that we up there, we used to make this drink called Lucy Toosey. So for our parties, you have one of them college room parties or whatever.
Rock.
So they go into it's in the tub, in the bathtub. So we in there making this a line. So there's a long ass line, and people's in there waiting, and she's online.
Yeah.
Jackie comes, I give her a drink, and she takes a sip. She's like, oh, this drink like juice. Y'all had me waiting for this long. I said, yo, let me tell you something. I said, you enjoy that juice, have this juice, and if you need more, come back, I got you.
Let me tell y'all a little bit about Billy's wife, Jackie, okay? Billy's wife, Jackie, is the only person who I've ever seen give it to Billy straight and Billy just sit there and be like, but when you leave, I'm gonna talk again.
Exactly.
He be straight chump. Like, if you ever seen the movie Belly, you see the dude when he was in the basement? That's Billy when he deals with Jackie B. He be like, you ain't gotta talk to me that way, yo. You ain't gonna talk to me that way.
It was crazy, yo. But like, she goes back out. Like an hour, 2 hours go by.
Right.
I still don't see it. The party's going on. I'm like, yo, where this chick at? So I slide out there. I see her on the couch. She's sitting there sauced off the same car. I'm like, yo, that's the same car. She was like, oh, it's all right. I said, yeah, I thought it was juice. After that, me and her had been clicking. She was going through things with her man. I was going through stuff with my girl, and the rest is just history. And now, she, and honestly, I'm gonna be honest, she's the reason I got through Dowstate. You know what I mean? She helped me. She pushed me to get ahead and go through because school wasn't my thing. I'm gonna be honest. School wasn't my thing. That wasn't my focus.
Oh, believe me, I understand.
I gotta get ahead and say that she really, her name is on my degree in fine print. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. Even though I want to give it back because I ain't doing nothing with that sports management degree right now, and I ain't doing nothing but paying for it. So how about I give y'all the degree back? Y'all give me the money back. We call it even. You know
that money, man. Some days that money. Period. Point blank. If I could get that.
The things I could have done with that $75,000.
Sometimes I feel like in our community, as African Americans, Black people, period, that we sometimes underestimate the ability of learning financial. We should be financially educated long before we get to school.
Yes. And I think that's something that I would definitely want to do with my kids, like bringing them up now. Like I want them to know.
Yes.
To know, what is about your credit. Because I didn't know nothing really about my credit. I didn't know nothing about my credit.
There's people your age who don't know nothing about credit.
So it was
right
like,
now.
and not just not know how important your credit is. You know what I mean? We have all these dreams to want all these other things. I had dreams for all this stuff, and I was like, how am I going to get it? But my credit's messed up. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy that, things like this happen. So
right.
I definitely want to get, make sure we prepare
That's good,
these
man.
kids, man.
That's good as you're thinking about that now. For those who don't know, Billy's a new father. He just had a couple of twins.
I'm a daddy
with his wife, and they're like, they're what you call, they're not the Cosbys. They're the modern day Black family for real.
Yeah, we doing it, man. It's and I'm be honest, it's hard. You know what I mean? It's hard, but we, when you get two people that can really work together and support each other, you know what I mean? And especially being with someone like myself that's like, I'm here now, you know what I'm saying? Doing this podcast right now. She's home with the kids. And I just had a show last night, you know what I'm saying? So you got shows and, you're doing this, like, you're not saying you're barely home, but you're busy, you know what I'm saying? Times I got to record the podcast, I'm shooting things, so I'm always busy, and that's hard not to be home with just your wife and not being home with your kids, you're missing out on things, and then you work all day. So, and then my wife has her own business, doing her own thing, so I got to get ahead and support her just like she supports me. So when you find somebody like that, and, it's great, and then, if you want for your kids, you're going to get ahead and do what you got to get and do.
You're going to get it. Hook a crook, you're gonna get that
money.
Hook a
so
crook.
I mean, that's exactly what we do now. So I got more respect to her and those people out there get ahead and in relationships like that supporting each other.
When you were now you meet Jackie, you guys get together, you're going to school. Let me ask you something. When you came out of school and you got back in you got acclimated to this life, what we call the after college life, which is strange. Which is strange because you go through a stage. I always want to say people between ages, like you go through a stage between 21 and 25 where the club and going out and meeting people is your life.
Yeah, popping bottles.
And either that or you go to you work in New York and you get acclimated to the after work party life, which is a whole nother life within itself. When you came back. And you had a team of homies, right?
Yeah.
That were going to get into the entertainment business. How did, in that time frame, where were you at and where were you trying to go?
It was, I put it like this. It was crazy because the little acting thing that I did, the extra works and stuff that I was doing, and the little acting stuff I was doing, everybody else saw it as I was about to pop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I remember hearing your name in the streets and I'm like, who's Billy?
Yeah, like I'm out here doing it. And I'm like, yo, it looked good, but that was just for them seconds that I'm there. Like the check is not, my pockets ain't saying the same thing. And I had dudes that was rapping and those, they had their own labels and stuff like that, DJs and all that kind of stuff.
So you were fully acclimated to the creative life.
Yeah, the creative life. I mean, I was doing stuff. I was doing radio when I was in college. Shout out to my cousin, Hassan. That was, I was on a radio show with him. I actually did the first NBA soundtrack out in Vegas. Did that. So I co-hosted on that and was out in Vegas shooting for there. So, I mean, they saw all those things. Like when you at All-Star Weekend with all these NBA players and they seen the pictures and
you were at Vegas All-Star Weekend?
Yeah, we was
Vegas.
I was there. We had
we
had a picture on the van. We had Kenny Jet and Big Tigger was on there hosting the joint too. So we did that for NBA All-Star Weekend. So people seeing all these different things and knowing my cousins being in the music industry, like that really kind of like molded molded me to understand like this entertainment business.
Right,
you know
right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
So that was a good thing that I got it so young.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't get it young, I'd have been messed up. Like after like the time, like I'd have been messed up.
Yeah.
But that whole thing was hard because I went home. I went to school, and there was people in my crew that went to school for maybe a year and then they stopped.
Yeah.
So everybody, when I came back, I graduated.
Right.
Everybody was pretty much in the same spot
Right.
when I left.
Yeah.
And I was just at another level where I'm trying to get ahead and go somewhere else. No disrespect, but I have other plans. I can't just sit here and do the same things we were doing when we left high school.
Right. We can't keep
what
doing
I
the
mean?
same thing over and over again.
There were certain tensions about certain things, and people thought they were being left behind. And I'm really not that type of person. I rather like if you're gonna rock with me, I want you to get ahead and rock with me the whole way.
Right,
you know what I mean? And there's still people in my crew that I still, all those dudes, we still, everybody's grown now. We still all cool. Everybody's doing their own angles. And now they understand where we come from, you know what I'm saying? But it was to a point where I had to get ahead and say, something, if this relationship is meant to be, it'll get ahead and be. I got to get ahead and go do this. If you guys going to come with me and support this, come on along. We'll all get ahead and figure out a way how to eat, or it's just not going to work.
At this time, is this when the comedy name began to reveal itself?
Comedy came... Like it was after after I graduated and stuff like that.
Of course.
And what I was doing is I was hosting. Well, me and my boys used to have our Dream High production company.
Correct.
And me and my boys Solo and James, we said we want to do showcases for artists so we can do music videos for them.
Yes.
So we started doing that. And when doing the showcases, I had a comedian by the name of Omar Thompson, and he was the host.
Okay.
And he's a comedian or whatever, and he's making people laugh in the showcase, going crazy. I'm loving it.
Right.
But I would host shows.
All right.
So I was hosting the shows, and Omar came to me and was like, "Yo, I want you to host my show. I want to have like artists in the beginning, then I do a comedy show."
Okay.
So I'm like, "Okay, I got you."
Right.
It was at Providence.
Nice.
That's what they used to do. We used to get ahead and do it like every week. I think it was every Thursday we used to be in there. I would host the shows. But while I was hosting the shows, I was pretty much doing comedy and not even know it. I had the people dying laughing, this and that.
You just being Billy on stage.
I'm just being me on stage and introducing people and
Right,
bugging out with
right.
the people, the entertaining.
If you ever need a host for a show,
Oh,
man,
yeah, definitely.
This
Come
dude
on.
Billy is like, look,
Yo, I'm telling you right now, booking at billionairecomedy.com, all right? You got to get me on there.
I've seen Billy on the fly just get handed a mic.
Yo, remember that show?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It was like the biggest show in Teaneck.
Yo, I
ever.
came to a show just to watch. Just to watch. So it's sold out.
Shout out to Ron, man.
Yeah, shout out to Ron Fraser.
Word.
Show sold out and was like, "Yo, Bill, you think you can get on the mic and host the show?"
I'll never
What?
forget that, yo.
What? It was crazy. Shout out
Look
to
on his
Luck,
face.
Lady Luck. Me and Lady Luck went up there, and we killed this joint.
Oh, my God. It was phenomenal.
Had some epic stuff, but I was off the fly.
Yeah,
and it was
man.
great. It was great.
God, I wish I had video on that. Day.
Yeah, I still got some. I think I still got some footage.
That
from
was
joint.
a major night.
That was an
man.
epic night. It was
Yeah.
epic. But so one thing, Marshall Brandon, the comedian, he came up to me and was like, "Yo, my man," he was like, "Yo, when you gonna stop hiding your comedy behind hosting and do comedy?"
Smack in the face.
And I was like this. I was like, huh? Nah. I'm like, nah, I can't. I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm chilling because I'm like just hosting the show. I'd rather just host. I can get off. And if it's not working out, I'm like, all right, come to the stage. Now. You know what I'm saying? So it got to a point when we took my dad. It's crazy because my dad's birthday is December 5th. So December 5th, we took my dad to see Tracy Morgan at Caroline's.
Okay.
Watching him at Caroline's, Tracy Morgan's killing. And I'm just watching. I saw a couple comedians before, and I'm like, yo, I said to my dad, I said, yo, I can do that.
Yeah,
And
what
he was
did
like,
Dad
yeah,
say?
he's like, yeah, okay. Now, mind you, my dad's still wants that basketball thing. My dad's a boy. But I mean, he supports me with everything I do, but he knows I'm doing the acting thing heavy. So he's like, okay. So I do this. I'm looking at this thing. I'm like, yo, I'm hosting these shows. I'm like, yo, I'm just going to get and try it. So I'm talking to my boy James. I'm like, yo, next year, come January, I'm just going to get and try it.
Right.
So my cousin happened to get ahead and have a comedy room that she was doing. Shout out to Like That. She was on the Flavor of Love show. Like That, my name is Like That.
Right.
So she's bugging out. My cousin's crazy. We got entertainers in our whole family. So she's got a comedy room, and I was like, yo, I want to try this out.
Right.
So January 11th, it's my anniversary, comedy anniversary. I get ahead and say, something, I'm going to get ahead and do it. And I go out there. I tell all my friends, I flooded that joint.
Right.
Went in there, and it was like an open mic. So I'd never been to one of those. So everybody's in there with notebooks,
So you
doing
going
everything.
virgin on the mic? And,
So I'm sitting there like, yo, what is all these people doing with notebooks? This joint is just whack. You're like, why you got notebook? So I went up there and I had everything I was going to talk about. I went up there and killed. Right. Everybody dying, laughing, going crazy. I'm like, oh, is that a dude comes up to me and was like, yo, what you doing next week? You want to do a show? I'm like, yeah, like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? So now I'm thinking, oh, I'm nice. I mean, I just killed this comedy joint.
We always think we nice when we first kill something.
I killed it, right? Went to the next room, did my thing. Did okay. But then somebody came up to me and was like, yo, it's crazy because that joke is cool, it's funny, got over, but that joke's kind of like remixed. Like, we kind of heard that sound like such and such a joke. And it sounded like such and such a joke. And I was like, nah, so that's mine. I don't know what you talking about. You know what I'm saying? But when you go ahead and go pull up the joints on YouTube, and it was like, yeah, that joint do sound like this. Like, you know. But then I was like, oh, this joint's crazy. But that first night to hear that laugh, it was a different experience.
Straight adrenaline rush to the vein,
and the thing was, I was no longer in the acting mode to where I was in the back. It was just me. Yeah. So I have to be seen. Yeah. So now in my head, it was like, you know something? I'm going to take this comedy thing. Right. Be hilarious and let this comedy open up a door for my acting.
Smart move.
That's exactly what I did.
And you're back to being a star point guard.
And I'm all by myself. There's no Iron team, but there's an Iron Billy, man. Let me tell you. You know what I'm saying?
Tell him again.
So I'm going to tell you right now. But so that's how it really got me in my thinking. Like, I'm going to go ahead and do this, and it's going to open the door. Yeah. Did I know that I was going to fall in love with comedy as I am right now? No. I just thought it was like a door, but I'm just like in love with it. I still love acting. So that's like my first like love with it. Right. But this comedy thing is just, it's taking me so many places right now, opened so many doors for me right now.
Once it's there, once something's got you, it's got you.
And like I said, I'm just loving it. The people I get here to meet, the opportunities I have, like, and it's crazy how small the comedy world is compared to when you're just watching from the outside. Right. Like, you can get ahead and be at the Comedy Cellar and Dave Chappelle will walk in. You know what I'm saying? You can get ahead and I see Michael Blackson on Friday. Next thing you know, I'm opening up for Michael Blackson at Jacksonville in Patterson.
Let me tell you something, man. I remember I went last year around my I think it was either around my birthday or close to my birthday. We went to me and my girl went to a comedy show down here. Okay. Down here, not too far from the bridge, and we went to a comedy show. We saw these two comics there. Yeah. I saw your man, I think it's Marcus.
Marcus Banks.
Banks, okay. Yes. Dude is funny.
Yeah.
I see him there, and I see this other dude, and they open up, they do the whole thing, and they do it there. The next day, we go to another comedy show because we got free tickets. Yeah. We go see Dave Chappelle, and they're opening up for Dave Chappelle. Yep. And I'm like, how small? They're leaving with Dave Chappelle. Yeah, I'm like, I'm sorry. Mike Epps. Mike Epps, not Dave Chappelle. Mike Epps. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, yo.
But that's what I'm saying.
Is it a black community or is it just comics in general?
It starts in the black community, I'm gonna go ahead and say, and then because like you got, especially like being in New York, like I know if you can get on stage in New York. And take what the New York crowd gives you, you can go anywhere. Okay. Because New Yorkers is going to give you that real. Like, they don't like you, they're going to tell you they don't like you.
It's still true to this day, no matter what they say. If you can still make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. That shit still rings true,
and it's real, but it's crazy. Like, Mike Epps will be at Mocha's on Mondays with Smokey. You know what I'm saying? Like, Smokey Swear. I used to see all these dudes on com. Now I have these dudes' numbers in my phone. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy that, like, one of my favorite comedians coming up was Capone. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing Capone doing this and that. My first 6 months, Capone gives me a call. I'm linking up with him to meet up with him. Capone's like, yeah, I've been hearing your name. I don't really know you. This is and that. You know, I met him through a friend of mine knew him, and she's like, I've been hearing your name a lot. This is that. Me and him chill, you know, linked up, and you know, he gave me some advice about certain things, and I was like, all right, nice meeting you. We'll get ahead and talk. You know, good luck with everything. I leave. I go to work the next day. My boss is like, you didn't tell me you was gonna be at Caroline's. I'm like, no, like, what are you talking about? Come to find out, Capone made a post. He had to pick like Throw Me, Tough Light, Derek Keenan, Burby. He picked 4 people.
Oh, wow.
4 people he picked to open up for his birthday weekend. It was me from Jersey, Top Flight from Philly, Derek Keenan from Texas, and on the Twitter winner was my man Burpee from North Carolina.
Okay.
All right. All those dudes right now still killing. Burpee's been on. He's on all the MTV shows. He's on Wild 'N Out, doing this thing.
We didn't talk about those things.
But we all bugged out and got together and did this thing.
Right.
This is 6 months in the game. These dudes have been doing it a little longer than me, but 6 months in the game, I'm moving up for Capone, who has come to my school, seen him perform. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching Capone all my life. Now I'm with him. I'm chilling with Capone. You know, I got the pleasure. He, ran a class and went to classes and stuff with him.
To give the people the context.
Yeah.
This is what, like 2011, 2012?
Yeah, 2011. Yeah.
Okay. That's a very crucial time for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because I think we started rocking around that time.
Yeah, and we started rocking probably like around 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
Because that's when, because after Capone told me, he was like, yo, a lot of these people are just going to hit me up now because I've been rocked with Capone. They just want to get ahead and want me to do the work. And, he taught me the business as far as know your worth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't let these promoters, take advantage of you and stuff like that.
Right.
And then, we hard-headed. We go ahead and say, all right, we think it's just for the money. And then I came back and look at him like, yeah, you was right. I told him, like, Cap, you was right. But it's crazy because Cap told me, he was like, yo, start your own room.
Yeah.
Do your own thing. This and that. I'm like, start my own room. How am I have my own room?
Mm-hmm.
But then I met this dude, Taylor Lindsay. He's my partner right now to this day with Taylor Lindsay Multimedia. We do shows together, but we started in this room. He was a promoter, and I ain't trust Taylor in the beginning. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, you just another dude trying to get me. You know what I mean? Because we had a New Year's show.
You don't in any industry, especially entertainment industry, it's hard if you didn't grow up with that dude, you ain't sharing no dirt.
Exactly.
So how are we supposed to how am I supposed to trust you?
Exactly. So I opened this room
Right.
in Teaneck, where I'm from. I'm like, y'all can get people in there.
Yeah.
First show, we sell it out.
Fire.
At Videos. Shout out to old Videos.
Yeah,
or whatever.
that's the pub,
we,
boy.
We went and sold this joint out.
Yeah.
And had a great show. Did my thing. I'm like, yo, this joint is great.
Yep.
Now we doing this monthly. Now we doing it
I
every
was
month.
there.
Yo,
we had a
when
good
I
time,
mean
boy.
the people that came through there, the after parties, we had so many classics.
Yeah,
but
man.
not only did we have a room, it gave me a platform to get ahead and do my own stuff, work out what I want to work out, test things. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm getting better. And I'm on my own time. I ain't got to get depend on you booking because a lot of people was like, I felt it was kind of like blackballing because they was mad because out of all the people in New York and New Jersey that's been out here, you booked this dude that's only been doing comedy for 6 months.
Well, that's in any community. Once you the new boy getting hot,
it was bad because I was getting calls and I was cool, and then things stopped. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, we was just cool. Like I didn't ask, he booked me.
I remember.
And that joint killed me. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, you can't be worrying about everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And once you stop doing those things, everything started working out. You know what I'm saying? We started working with each other and stuff like that. And
we had a little internet show that was fire.
B go ahead and gave us the radio show. That joint was dope. I missed that joint.
Yeah. But you got something coming with what you have right now.
The podcast.
The podcast. Yo. That can be something. Yeah. I can't listen, man. He'll give you the information later on in the show. Definitely. But you guys gotta definitely check it out.
Check it
now,
out.
We were going through that. You had all these relationships with these people. You had all these relationships with different people from different parts of the industry. Because I'm sure you started meeting other people in different industries from like photography,
video,
videography,
movies, DJ, everything.
So you were meeting all these people. Yeah. As you're moving in your annals in that time, you and your relationship begin to get tighter. Things begin to change with that. You're like, there's certain parts of my life that are changing. Yeah. Your family dynamic changes. And, you're beginning to grow into not just this, okay, you're the cool kid, but now you're no longer a kid. Yeah. Life begins to change for you. What things to you begin to spark, like, I need to take this 100% serious and just continue to just build on this right now?
I think one thing that kind of got me was... I guess when I almost lost Jackie at a certain point. Yeah. Because it was to a point where, don't get it twisted. I messed up. I did a lot of things.
Takes a man to admit it.
I did a lot of things, just being young and dumb and, especially when you got somebody great right there in front of you, you get ahead and, mess up and stuff and do things dumb. But it's kind of like, the crazy thing is, after all that I put her through, she stuck with me, you know. Right. But it came to a point where I was just like, yo, I can't lose her. Yeah. And it's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth it, you know? And at the same time, that's when it became, it's not selfish no more. It's like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and go do these things and these shows. But these shows are no longer just for me. This is for us.
Yes.
And this and I see a future with you.
Right.
And I want to get ahead and build that future.
Got you.
Now, at the same time, I'm scared because I'm not ready to get married. I don't want to be married. That's like life. You know what I'm saying? But at this time, I've been with Jackie for 9. That was for 2008. I've been with her at the time for maybe like 4 or 5 years. So it's kind of like I've been with her 4 or 5 years. And we ain't talking marriage or nothing yet. You know what I'm saying? So, like, those things
pressure
on my
will
mind.
kick up.
Yeah, that pressure kicks up.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to just do it because she wanted it. I wanted to do it because I honestly just wanted it.
Right. You want to do it when it's right. Because, honestly, a lot of guys, the pressure, some people don't operate.
Some people let that pressure get to them, and they just jump in, and then they're like, dang, I'm out. And they get divorced within the first year.
I know people have been people with 8 years.
Yeah.
And they ain't fall to the pressure. I know people who have been together for 2 or 3 months, fall to that pressure, and all of a sudden, 3 years later, ain't no way their relationship.
And I put it like this: some people it does work. Some people it can work with the.
I've seen that work too.
You know, some people it just
a lot
it
more
matters who
doesn't.
you with, and you know, but you just have to get ahead and put the work in. But that's when it really changed, and I was like, okay. And then I had to get a job. I was working. You know, I worked for the city and all this kind of stuff. But now where I'm working. I'm not doing what I love to do. I'm out here cleaning up parks and stuff like that at that time before I, moved up and stuff like it's great. You know, you can get there's a lot of room for growth, but this is not what I want to get ahead and do.
No, I want to do that, man.
I'm going to have to get ahead and work until I'm like 65, 70 years old to retire.
Yeah.
To the collector. So now I'm like this. No, I have to get ahead and take this joint seriously.
And at that time, you're gonna be a bitter dude.
Yeah, and you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I got to get ahead and take this thing seriously. So I started just really just grinding out with it and really, and then the next thing, like, and as far as you know, like doing your podcast and with your photography, you got to invest in your craft. You got to invest in your craft. Like, I can't wait for the next person.
Yeah.
So I got to get ahead and have the cameras.
Yeah.
I got to get ahead and have the lights.
Yeah.
I got to learn these things. I got to buy these programs because if I sit here and wait for somebody else, the time is going to get ahead and move. It's going to pass me.
You're going to be stuck.
You know, so I was happy that, early on, like everything happens for a reason. Early on, we started doing a video production company. You know, we parted our ways, but I mean, everybody's doing great things.
But you had to learn.
You had to learn. That was my thing.
You learned. And
yeah.
I think that will always put you 5 feet ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
Everybody who else just wants to jump in this business, you're already 5 feet ahead of them.
Exactly.
Because you're like, yo, fam, I already know your next 3 steps.
Yep.
It's kind of like you're already.
I've been here, I've done that already.
Yeah, you're playing chess already, and they're still playing checkers.
Exactly.
And that's how you want to be. It puts you a leg up
and
on most people.
And it's crazy. I mean, if y'all, like, no disrespect. I mean, I know you'll probably test this, but no disrespect to none of the Instagram comedians and all that kind of stuff. And y'all doing your videos on your phones and
I
stuff
see
like
Fat
that.
Boy doing his thing, man.
That's cool. I mean, there's a lot of people doing it. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. But I was doing this drink before Instagram. You can go back on my you can go back on my YouTube. I was doing all these joints vlogging before it was vlog. You know what I'm saying? But
facts.
my thing is I started, back up. This year I started back up putting videos out.
Right.
But my thing is I'm putting quality out.
Yeah.
I'm not just putting everything out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I see a lot of comedians, they just doing everything.
It's like every day you just want to
day.
grab your phone, put a video, and it's funny. And that's if you just want to do that for likes, hey, that's you.
Yeah.
Me, I'm gonna give you something great to where you like, dang, that joint is dope.
It's well produced,
well
put
produced, and
together,
everything put together. Now, some things you got to be on the fly to get and keep up with topics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But my thing is, I want to give you quality.
Right.
I'd rather give you 5 banging videos
Exactly.
than the one banging and then the whole one's that was okay.
I remember last month, there was a lot of talk with Monique. No, I'm sorry, a couple of months ago, I should say, not even last month, with Monique. And I remember seeing an interview that was on Power.
Okay.
And I remember them talking to her about, like, how can I put this? They were just talking about her not getting her worth, her not getting her worth on Netflix, and I remember Charmaine mentioning something about resume, and saying that she's not getting the money that she wants because she hasn't built up a recent resume that's going to hold up to what she's asking. And Envy said the same thing, and I see people like some people were taking her side and everything, and I'm saying to myself, do you understand that comedy is an art form?
Yes.
But at the end of the day, all art forms are commoditized by business, and you have to. At the end of the day, it's a business. Yeah. So if I see you pulling in only 20,000 people, but I got XYZ comic selling out arenas, who you think I'm giving that money to?
Exactly.
I think on a smaller scale, I think I think on a small scale, I think if you're pulling in 3,000 to 4,000 people at a venue, and I got Mr. XYZ, and he can only pull like 200 people at a restaurant. I think that's comparatively to what you're doing right now. I think that you can. I think that you are going to be pulling in those kind of numbers soon. I think it's only going to grow. And I say all that to say, comedy is a business.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're better prepared as a businessman now than you were before?
Definitely now. I mean, coming in the game, you just think you want to just get up on stage and do this and that. Hey, let me get this money and move. But now it's a business. Yeah, get the bag and move. And now it's structure behind it. It's structure. It's structure with it. And but now on some instances, if Monique, I feel like you got to know your worth. Yes. That's one thing. And I feel like Monique, she's coming from now. She's the whole gender bias thing. Yeah, I can get ahead and get with her. Yeah, but at the same time, I can't say it's not a really. It's like it's racial bias or whatever. I think it's a racial gender bias thing because Amy Schumer, she's rocking. You know what I'm saying? And you got to look at it. When you talk about resumes are cool. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I heard, before I heard the interview, I had made a statement on my show about. Comparing it to like Michael Jordan. I heard Charlamagne did something with like Kobe or something like that. Yeah, he said, so my thing is this, and then even what her husband said back, my thing is this, if Jordan right now tried to come back to the league, as much as we love Jordan, you don't got it no more. Nah, you're not there. You know what I'm saying? I pick you up and pick up at the gym or something like that. But I'm not picking you up in the league. And not that I'm just not picking you up. I'm not giving you LeBron money, let's say. Okay? So I'm not giving you LeBron money. Yeah. But now they said, okay, what if, he retired and came back and can give LeBron numbers. Okay, if he retired and came back and give LeBron numbers, then he can get LeBron money. Right. You all right? Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, they left and came back doing Dave was hitting rooms, rocking out, building what he's going to be, putting out little specials and stuff to show I still got it. Right. And then came back and he sold out Radio City 15 times. Sold out. 15 shows at Radio City. Monique is not selling out Radio City. No disrespect. I love Monique. I think she's funny. Right. Don't get it twisted. But my thing is this. I feel like Queens of Comedy, Monique came out, and Monique did her thing. Yeah. Okay? She did her thing. But Monique wasn't even the headline, like the star of that show. She went last, but Samore was the star of that show. Yeah, Samore. Oh, she was like Bernie Mac. Yeah. Like Bernie Mac did for Kings of Comedy. You know what I'm saying? So Samore was the star of that show. Right. But now my thing is this. With Monique, after that, she had the other one that I might be a good cellmate or whatever that's on Netflix or whatever. Yeah. And now you telling people don't boycott Netflix and you telling us not to go watch your thing. But other than that, what other specials have you done? Right. We don't know nothing. Now don't get it twisted. You put her on a lineup with Cedric the Entertainer, Monique, Samore, a whole big lineup, and they at somewhere, people are gonna go. Right. She's great on that. Yeah. But can you get ahead and sell out the Garden by yourself? No, it's not there. Yeah. It's no disrespect. If you feel it's there, show us. Because now do a big show. All right. You get ahead and do your big show. Once they hear the buzz, now they're gonna get in. Because now look at this. Tiffany Haddish, love her to death. Tiffany did. I'm proud of what Tiffany had right now. She's running with her joint, and I'm proud of her. Me and her, we did a show out here together at the Elon. Right. You know what I mean? Me, her, Alex Thomas. It was a great show. Right. But Tiffany, now it's her time right now. Yeah. She's doing her thing. Now she had her Showtime special. Cool. Some people are like, they don't know how they feel about this and that. I think she's better than a Showtime special. I'm gonna be honest. Right. She's freaking hilarious. Right. I want her to get another opportunity. Now she'll get another opportunity. She had said, I remember watching the interview a while ago. She had said, I think, and again, it was on the Breakfast Club. Yeah. Irony in my existence. I came up with that idea as well. But anyway, we could talk about that another time. But it's she had said that she didn't get full creative control over that. Yeah. And I think with any comedian, you have to give them creative control over their special in order for it to be their special. And then what is great? If you ever see Tiffany perform and watching that Showtime, right? It wasn't that it wasn't her, but it was like she was holding back. Like if you see her when she came in, she was at the Elon.
I think I was there for that show.
Yeah, you was there at that show. She was loose out. I mean, she was out there, really stretching out, doing that black unicorn was real. You know what I'm saying? To where the Showtime, it was like, all right, it was televised. It wasn't really that. Oh, I'm at the club joint. How we really rock out. Yeah. So I feel like there was like that hold back, and that's what I was just waiting for. Like, just come through.
Some people are not always super comfortable, I guess, in that situation. A special is going to be different. You filmed your own special,
and if you don't have your own creative control, it's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard. So that's
why your man Talent told you to create your own room.
Yeah,
basically saying, yo,
Capone.
I'm sorry, Capone told you to create your own room.
Yeah,
is
because you make your own rules.
Yeah,
you make your own rules.
It's so major. I think that's with anything. You got to create your own stuff. I think that's the key to YouTube.
If you're sitting here waiting for somebody to come get you, you bugging.
Listen, when I was calling around all over the place trying to get somebody to help me out with this podcast situation, trying to get me a stew or just somewhere where I could sit down and do it.
Yeah.
And then I watched Tim Ferriss. He's I don't know if you ever heard of him.
No.
He's a great dude. Tim Ferriss. He's like a guru of like the arts, and he's a major he understands how to create stuff. He does a traveling podcast. I looked on YouTube, watched his setup, and all I did was mimic.
Yeah.
I hate to say this, but you better learn to mimic some things, or you're never going to get anywhere.
Yeah.
You're never going to get anywhere because you don't know everything, and there's somebody out there with a better idea than you. But yeah, I learned from him. I started a podcast like you said. You said, look, you got to create your own way. Yeah. Now I remember I went to you had your own special, like a special that was filmed and everything, taping.
Billionaire and Friends,
and it was. I gotta say, Billy, when I tell you, you created something that inspired the shit out of me. When I wanted to become a motivational speaker, and I was definitely looking, I was like, yo, B, I want to do this.
Yeah.
And I saw that me and my girl went, and she was blown away. She was like, this is dope.
Yeah.
This is dope.
It was dope. I was excited about it, man.
It's to me now, you know, and we're getting off subject, but it's like I want you to understand, like, for me, I think this is the creative age, and I think you're coming into your own at the perfect time.
Yeah.
And I think that if you develop your channel the way you want to do it on YouTube, I think the sky's the limit. Because I think YouTube is becoming more and more mainstream. People are watching it more and more on their devices. Although right now, you know, Amazon and Google are beefing, and that's the reason why YouTube has been pulled off of it. Yeah. But it's you need to. I think this personally for me, I think you need to produce a sort of your own special and just release it on YouTube. Yeah. And just keep going like as YouTube was your Netflix. Now that costs money. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, that all costs money. But I think every once in a while dropping something like that would be dope. And I think that you got to continue to do your thing. Yeah, and I
that's
definitely going to work for you.
That's definitely the plan. I have so many different things, and I have so much to talk about. Life has changed in so many different ways. Yeah, and like I said, I'd rather have my special ready for someone to get ahead and want to pick up. Yeah. And when they come to me like, oh, we want to get ahead and do this, well, I got one. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Or after that, they get ahead and say, you know, a lot of people listen to T.K. Kirkland's comedy album. Yeah. That joint is dope. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, I'm going to come out with one of those. But my thing is, I'm just going to get ahead and get to the point where I'm like, I'm putting myself out there. I'm investing in myself. Right, like when we did that show, I paid for that. You know what I'm saying? Right. I paid for that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We had the crew, we had the cameras and stuff like that. So
it was highly professional.
You know, everything was fun. And I shout out to the whole crew, everybody that helped out. Right. But that's just the start. You know, the plans that I have are, you know, it's going to be crazy. And you're going to get that. You're going to get that special coming, you know, real soon. There's some things in the work right now, you know. So I can't really put too much out there, but it's coming.
When I first started working with Bill, I used to be the most annoying little son of a bitch. I used to come in all the time like, yo, you gonna do that shit, yo?
Yeah, you gotta do this.
You gotta do this right now. Billy used to look at me like, yo, this nigga don't leave me alone. I'm like, no, not leave me alone.
But the only thing I get respected about Brian is that he'll stay on top of me. You know what I'm saying? One thing, because sometimes, you know, you get that time where you need to just relax. Right. But B's the type, like, he's just antsy. I don't think he has any friends. No. Because he just has nothing else to do but to get ahead and make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do. I'm like, yo, when do you just deal with you time? Like, why are you still bothering me?
I suffer from the disease of I just need everybody around to be great. So when I walk into a room, people are like, oh, I know that guy. He's with that dude. Yeah. That's my ego swap.
And that's why I appreciate, you know, just to let you know, and I say this on the air and, you know, like, I really appreciate you, like, you know, for what we went through. And it wasn't. It was never. Like it was never like we never got anything out of it. It was a learning experience for all of us. You know what I'm saying? It was a time that we were all at the start of everything that we were doing. You know what I mean?
When
it was
I tell you, we were surrounded by so many creative people.
Yeah, and we had so many, and everybody. I'm glad to see that everybody is still doing what they're doing. That's why that will show that you weren't in the wrong or thinking in the wrong. You know, you were coming from the right place. It was just that we were all at a stage where we were all growing, and then you were trying to get ahead and learn something totally new when the path we had already started doing it. At the time you couldn't get ahead and give what you wanted to give because you were still trying to learn how to give it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So that's the thing that it is. But like I said, we all will get ahead and like I said, I'll trust you with my career. You know, if I said, that, would I get ahead and do those things? That's what we get ahead and do. So like I said, you live and you learn, you build relationships, and then look what happened. We get ahead, we separate, business wise, but the friendship has always been there.
Yeah.
The friend, you've always been supportive. We've been supportive of each other, and then we back working with each other again.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it all comes full circle. You're doing different things, and
Yeah.
everything is still growing. So, like I said, I appreciate you and thank you for that.
Not a problem, man. Not a
definitely
problem. I just appreciate the fact that you didn't give up.
Yeah, definitely.
You didn't give up, and you kept your word. Because I remember you telling me, "Yo, I'm never gonna give up, B."
Yeah, I can't.
And I was like, "Yeah, man." And then I remember one night at your house, you explained to me how basketball looks to you now.
Yeah.
Like, tell the people, like, because you broke down something, and not to jump too far off the topic. We know we're going all over the place, but this, but right here, this kid. So I was watching some highlights of some high school players. And you were like, I don't watch highlights like you watch highlights. He's like, when I see these kids doing their thing, I'm not watching them. I'm watching the competition. Yeah. And I'm trying to tell you, everybody looks good when they're playing these kids.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, what? You blew my mind because all this time, I never looked at basketball like that.
Exactly.
And then all of a sudden, I was like, all right. So I went home and I watched it, and I watched it from your eye and your perspective, and I was like, oh, I get it now. Yeah. This kid isn't that good.
Yeah. And it's crazy, and it's crazy because, and I'm gonna be honest, like when I went to Keystone, it's a D3 school, so I'm coming in there like, yo, D3, everybody in D3, they just washed. It's just like, yo, I didn't go this and that.
Y'all were the third option on your squad.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm going to D3 school, but then you had dudes that were supposed to go to Division I schools that didn't have the grades that they had to go JUCOs, all this kind of stuff, but they balling. Do you know what I'm saying? So you can't get ahead and let the level of play fool you. But at the same time, you watching some of these high school players that you see them, they over here dunking on everybody.
Was that kid Zion?
Zion. Now listen,
God.
He's a beast. He is a beast. Yeah. But now my thing is this: like me coming up, ABCD camp was there. Right. You know, they had ABCD, and that's when he brought all the top kids from around the country to get and play around each other. Yeah. Now you see a person like LeBron, you see a person like Carmelo in high school going at each other. When they're where they're from, they ain't going against another LeBron in front of them. Right. They're going against some dude from down the block that's really not on that level. Exactly. But when you can find somebody that matches your level, and then you can give that same work, like Melo, let's say he was giving 50 to kids. You know what I'm saying? Right. Now when you meet LeBron, you only giving LeBron 15 to 20. You get what I'm trying to say? There's a difference. Big difference. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. When you see all these highlights, it's cool, but I want to see you playing against the top kids in the country. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because when you're doing it, and you see this a lot in AAU too. A lot of AAU teams, you see all, you're getting the best of the best. Right. You know, you see that. And that's what I want to get ahead and see. Some of these kids, you only seeing the, and then a lot of the highlights, you only seeing all the shots that they make. Right. Half the time, you seen this dude, he's coming down every time he's coming down trying to shoot. He's not hitting.
He's bigger than everybody else.
He's bigger than everybody. But guess what? There's another kid that, look at what's her name's son? Shaquille O'Neal's son. Yeah. Shaquille O'Neal's son, he had time. Remember that whole thing that went down with Arizona, the coach was paying money or whatever, so he de-signed for them. But he's another big kid that's a beast. But you never seen him and Zion play against each other.
Never. Nope.
But that's something that we want to see. You know what I'm saying? You want to see these top kids playing against each other.
You only see that at the McDonald's game, but I don't even think. I don't know if McDonald's game they don't take that serious.
I mean, they take it serious, but then they all really got where they gotta go. Yeah. They already know what schools they going to.
Back in the day, I remember when Steph and AI and all these players.
Oh, used to go. Yeah, Steph. And I remember at the Garden. My dad took me at the Garden when they used to have that big tournament at the Garden. They used to always go in. But you know something. But I can say like this: the high school, I really can't watch like that. Yeah, nice and this and that. I want to see them playing against competition. So I'd rather see those bigger games like the McDonald's All-American games when they're all, or the Jordan Classics when they're playing against other top players. Okay, and that's great. But now when you go to the college level, now I want to see you dominate on the college level.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you could have been the number one kid in the country and then get in the college level and be like, oh, what am I supposed to get ahead and do now? I mean, you're still going to be nice, but you're not getting them 30, 40 points. It's not that easy.
Right.
Every level is a different level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy because now I watch him in college. I'm like, all right, if he goes and does the same thing he was doing in high school and college, hey, I got to give it to this kid. This kid is a beast.
What do you think about Trae Young before we close this out? What do you think about Trae Young, man?
Yo,
to me, he's a turnover machine. And that's just because I just don't think he's big. I think when he gets,
he's not strong enough yet.
No,
he's not strong enough.
He's a high school kid strong, and to break it down to understand how high school kids are. You go to college, you're facing premature grown men who can they'll bounce you out that lane.
Yeah.
And he's that small.
Exactly.
You're going in there. He's going to have to play cover ball.
Yeah.
Cover that ball, go to the lane, and then and do the Steph and throw it up.
And you want to know what's crazy? When I remember going to see KD play when he first came to the league.
Right.
Do you remember how skinny KD
God.
was?
Yo,
I saw him. If you watch KD's game when he came in the league, KD would not go to the basket.
Yeah.
When he went to the basket, he'd get hit. He was like, ooh. He couldn't take it.
Porzingis style.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, he came when he started gaining that weight, putting that NBA weight on, and then, like, just the NBA strength. Now it's a different ball game.
Yeah, but
so that's the only thing. I think that a lot of these kids, it's like, but you got to think about it. If I can get ahead and right now go to the league and make millions of dollars to get and take my care of my family, and I can get ahead and just grow within the league, cool. I'm gonna get ahead and do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But some people I think should have stayed another year or two in college. You know what I'm saying? And grow. But then it's like, what happens if you stay and then you get hurt? You get what I'm saying?
This is why you need a sports bar podcast.
Yeah,
right now.
That's my main thing. Everybody says, yo, I would have stayed. I would have stayed another year. But what happens if they would have stayed? You know how many people that stayed and that didn't stay and end up going to the NBA and getting hurt?
Yeah.
But guess what? They got hurt and they're still getting paid. They got guaranteed contracts that at least get paid.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Same
so at least they're going to make that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I'm at least going to get that. Now, if you're not at the level to where you think you're going to be able to excel, you're going to get a guaranteed contract. If you're one of those kids like, I know I can get in the league in second round and you're going to get passed around, no, I wouldn't do it. Right. But if I know I'm going in the first round where I'm getting a guaranteed contract and I feel like I still want to get in and grow and do that kind of stuff, I'm going.
That's that love and basketball thing. Because when homie went to the league, he was terrible, and then all of a sudden he busted up his knee, and it was a wrap.
Yep. And then they start looking at you like, all right, we just can't wait until his contract over. You know what I mean? So you either got to work out of that injury or do it. Do what
right. Yeah, you got to think about getting a sports broadcast.
Yeah, I miss. I mean, I didn't even talk about it, but only other way that I get that my basketball fix is coaching. You know what I mean? I ended up able to coach and stuff like that.
I was going to ask you about what was like, because I didn't want to run too far crazy over here, but I was going to ask you about like coaching. And I can't think of his name off the top of my head. He's from Jersey. He's now on he's like a major broadcast on ESPN. He had the bike accident, and I can't
basketball coach?
And this is my man. Now he's a broadcaster.
He's a broadcaster.
I love this guy. I can't think of his name.
I can't think of.
Play for the Bulls. Play for the Bulls.
He's from Jersey.
He's from Jersey. He ended up. He had the bike accident and never recovered.
You're talking about Jason Williams.
Jason, that's my man.
Yeah, Jason
man.
Williams. Yeah.
That's my man. Did you ever meet that guy?
No, never met him. Never. But I his career hurt.
Oh,
because coming from college, he was a beast. So he was prototypical, like he was like your size.
Yeah,
exactly.
You guys were pretty much prototypical the same.
I like this game. It's just the league didn't work out. But he's doing this thing now with the broadcast.
That's what I'm saying.
And the college joint now. He does the college games like March Madness. That joint is just dope. He's just on top of it.
I think you got unlimited talent. I think if you ever wanted to go into the broadcasting thing, I think that's something that you
It's crazy when you sit there and it's like when we watch games, like me and my pops can sit there and watch games, and we're talking like we're broadcasting, like, oh, you got to go to this. See, it's not getting to the paint, and I'm talking about they sitting in it's just crazy now
because you know
I'm watching it from a different point of view. Like I'm watching it from a basketball point, and it's people that watch as basketball players and people just watch as fans. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you see certain things and stuff like that. I mean, you just never lose that touch.
Well, Bill, let me tell you something, man. I really think that you have an unlimited amount of talent to go out and do your thing.
Thank you.
You just got to go out and do it. There's so much more I want to get into. We're going to say that for another time.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We're going to make sure we wrap this up correctly because, people got shit to do.
Yeah.
And, but it's reality of it is like, yo, man, so I just want you to tell people what you got coming up next, where people can find you, and what kind of things you thinking about doing.
Okay, well, as y'all know, if y'all can get ahead and follow me on Instagram at Billionaire Comedy 06. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Billionaire Comedy.
Why is it 06?
06 for, shout out to the fraternity, the greatest fraternity in the land, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated.
I want to make sure you get that in there.
Yeah, 1906, so I had to put that out there. But
Billy's
yes.
a proud member, people.
Oh, yeah, proud member. I'm the president of my chapter, the Kappa Theta Lambda chapter in Berkeley County.
Faces.
So we out here really doing that, the work at Alpha. But so like I said, Billionaire Comedy 06 on Instagram, Facebook, Billionaire Comedy. I actually got my website is out right now, so make sure you go to billionairecomedy.com. That will keep you up to date with all my shows, my podcast. Shout out to the podcast. We running strong right now. Shout out to Ace Brown and Derek Watson for the Dad's Intervention podcast, giving dads a great voice and a comedic laugh that we got to get. I think that dads right now get so much flack for that out there, and I think that it's time for the dads to have a voice, and that's what we're doing. I mean, we all fathers taking care of our kids, and and we all married, and I mean it's a great thing, and it's not just for married dads, and we do a whole bunch of things, so it's great, and make sure you support these up and coming podcasts like like Brian's show, my show also, and then I got some projects going on. I got a web series that I'm been writing, and we're actually casting for right now. It's called Brother's Keeper.
That's another thing Bill does. So many little things.
Got a whole lot
man's doing his
going on,
thing.
man. Yeah.
Do his thing, okay, people.
Yes.
But first and foremost, my man Bill does write.
Yes, got to.
He got to write script. I was one of the shooters at one of his Bud Light
for the Super
joint,
Super Bowl joint. Make sure y'all go check that. If y'all haven't seen it, y'all can go on billionairecomedy.com and check that Dilly.
And I was one of the shooters there, and Bill was just running. We were just running through things. He was directing. He was acting in it. Let me just tell you something, man. When you get to a point where you feel like you're just gonna let your creative hand run your life, it changes you. It changes you.
My thing is, I'm at a point where whatever check want to clear. If y'all want me to write today, I'm gonna write today. You want me to direct today, I'm gonna direct today. I'm gonna get my camera game up, so I start doing that thing. You know what I mean? So it's just crazy. I got a couple projects going on. Like we talked about, Billionaire and Friends, a sketch comedy show, bringing sketch comedy back. We're gonna do that straight for the internet, that kind of thing. And then, like I said, I'm working on my special right now, my own comedy special produced by myself. The whole Billionaire Comedy team, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be something that you can get ahead and share with your family, your grandmother, your kids. Because, like I said, I'm doing clean comedy right now. I got a shout out to my Clean Comedy Link family. Shout out to my manager Joanne Pringle.
What?
Yeah, so I'm doing clean comedy now, man, and I'm loving it. Been doing it for over a year now.
I can't believe this man's doing clean comedy. It blows my mind.
Yeah, because it's the stuff I used to be saying. But I'm at the point where I get close.
One quick question before we close this out, man.
Go ahead.
Yo, who is your funniest of all time?
Funniest of all time?
Because everybody's got them. Some people are Eddie, some people are Chappelle, some people are Rock, some people are Richard, some people, are other comedians. I'm giving these names, but there's a lot of other comedians that people love. You know what I mean?
I mean, off the top, I'm going with Eddie Murphy. That's who I really like. But you know who's funny, and rest in peace, Patrice O'Neal.
Ah, yes. People love Patrice,
Yo, Patrice O'Neal. When I'm telling you that dude right there, so I'm going to go Eddie, Patrice O'Neal, and then the great Mr. Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac. I ain't scared of you, motherfuckers.
Come on with it.
You know what I'm saying? Hit it! I love Bernie.
That's my favorite comedian. But
Bernie?
Bernie's my
Okay,
favorite.
okay.
But you know, I listen to like Joe Rogan is a great podcaster,
okay.
and he's a comedian.
Yeah.
And they always talk about those things. Like I told you plenty of times, you need to listen to
gotta
the joint
listen to the joint.
because he drops knowledge on it, but from a comedian kind of game.
Yeah.
And to me, comedians are probably the smartest people on the planet.
Yeah.
But they're
I'm
also
trying to tell people,
but they're also the most volatile people on the planet because comedians, there's always a drunk comedian or a high ass comedian. They got addiction issues, but you know what can I say?
I'm addicted to the funny. Though.
Yeah, he's addicted to the funny though. Billy's always been like, yo,
yes sir.
I gotta get to this joint. Get to this joint. That's Billy's thing.
Got to.
Billy, I appreciate you being you. I appreciate you coming on here, taking care of things.
Thanks for having
Thank
me,
you
man.
for coming on here.
We're definitely coming back.
Yeah, man. Definitely going to have you back on here because we got a lot to talk about, man, especially now, you know, a basketball season is pretty much going to be over by the time you get back on here. We got to talk about that.
And now I'm just going to say this now. I want to be the first episode of season 2.
Okay.
Because you already made me the last episode of the first season.
No, you're number 5.
No, but you said I was the last one, and you said save the best for last, but you're going to have an episto 6. And you thought I forgot about it. We've been talking on the side. You thought I forgot about it.
We were doing so good. At this point, I'm going to let you guys, I'm going to go now because the ignorant one here, Billy.
Yeah.
But listen, check out Billy, man, okay? Bill the Billionaire, for those who don't know, that's his name. That's what he goes by, man. Check him out. Guy does amazing things.
The check gonna clear soon.
Yeah, man. If you catch him on Wildin' Out, you catch him on all those other things. And
he got some TV. I forgot I got some TV stuff coming up too. So we won't talk about it
Right.
until the ink is dry.
Yeah. And let me tell you all some other stuff. Yeah, man. This is not your typical IG guy. No, this guy's legit. He paid his dues. He went into the Smoky Club and spoke his business. You know what I mean?
Holding the walls, man, with the daggone the shower curtain backdrop. Yeah, we've been there. We've been there.
One-eyed lady staring at you, and you getting like, oh shit.
There you go.
Hey, okay, listen.
Put it in the other eye.
I'm gonna say to you, thank you guys.